Good day and welcome to the Ministry of Tourism special interview program, Tourism One-on-One, where we explore topical issues affecting our tourism sector following its record post-pandemic recovery. I'm Dr. Kingsley Roberts, your host, and with me today is Executive Chef at Jewel Grande Montego Bay Resort and Spa, Mr. Volae Williams. Welcome, Mr. Williams.
Thank you.
Today, we continue our discussion on his personal journey in the tourism sector and how he has benefited from various initiatives undertaken by the Tourism Enhancement Fund, the TEF, including through its Jamaica Center for Tourism Innovation, JCTI. So, Mr. Williams, what does your day-to-day job entail? Take us through a typical day.
Starts off early, right? You get up by 4 o'clock in the morning and get ready.
4 o'clock.
Yes,
Okay.
gets up 4 o'clock in the morning to basically get myself ready to hit the ground running by 5:30. To start the breakfast operation.
So you get to the property by 5.
Yeah, 5:30.
Okay. Wow.
Right? Start the breakfast operation. Check the environments, check the areas, check all kitchens. To ensure that the kitchen were basically locked off and closed off properly. Ensure all team members are in. At times there are emergencies and there are situations that happen where team members actually call out. So in that aspect, have to be extremely vigilant. Check the store, ensure that they have the goods to start the operation because breakfast basically starts at 7 a.m. So the breakfast team comes in between 5:30 and 6, and we start production. From the hot kitchen to the pantry to the pastry. And then we have a room service operation that never turns off. It's 24 hours, 365 days a year.
So you always have people working, cooking based on
Always.
those requests.
Definitely.
So how do you develop the hotel's dining concepts now? How does all that work?
All right, so the concept is basically generated based on the company as a whole. What they see, what they want, the type of visitors they want to attract. And from that aspect now, restaurants are basically created and then a menu is tailored to that specific restaurant. Now, in the hotel industry, we have a lot of travelers their palates are extremely traveled and exposed. So a typical hotel, you'll find an Italian restaurant, you'll find a steakhouse, you'll find an Asian restaurant, which we all know as teppanyaki, right? Or Japanese, right? And then we have a lot of Indians that really come to our shores and they're lovers of their own food, So we at times have an Indian restaurants or catering for these aspects. And of course, we have our Jamaican restaurants for sure, where we offer our jerk chicken, oxtail, all of these delights. And then we have an international restaurant, which it gives you the opportunity to do fusion, using items that are popularly known throughout the culinary industry, like salmon on a whole.
So how do you learn to cook all these dishes? I think that's the obvious question here.
The obvious question, let me tell you, it's a mental recollection from the first day starting culinary school,
Okay.
right? Just like any other profession, being a doctor, being a lawyer, uh, a media professional, you go to school for it, but it's theoretical. We go to school for it, but it's practical.
So you have to practice a lot and
You
try
have to practice a
various
lot.
dishes.
You have to try a lot of dishes. You have to taste. Because remember, our job is not entirely about the visual. You have to hit or focus on every single senses that we have. From sight to smell to taste.
Okay.
From a visual standpoint, anybody is supposed to know what a curry chicken or a curry goat is supposed to look like. If the color is off, something is wrong.
Yeah.
If the smell is off, something is wrong. And if the taste is off, definitely something is wrong. But I use curry because a Jamaican curry is different from an Indian curry. Depends on the spices that we use, right? And you have to train your palate. So as chefs coming up in the industry, it's extremely important. It's crucial that every single thing or step that you're doing in the kitchen, in preparation, mandatory you have to taste. That is when you're tasting now, it is creating a mental recollection of every single flavor profile.
Okay.
You're not writing it down.
Hmm. So
You
all that
can't
is mental.
mental. I can write a menu right now and a dish, and I can tell you exactly what it's going to taste like before cooking it. Because once you start putting ingredients together, you know what the ingredients are.
Right.
Depends on how it's exposed to specific temperature, cooking methods. It determines the outcome at the end of the day.
So how do you plan and prepare all of these dishes now?
Cannot be without a team. Understand me? And at the end of the day, training and development, encouragement, and empowerment is extremely crucial to any operation. Being the head of Jewel Grande kitchen operation, I solely depend on my team for supporting the vision, the mission, and most of all, ensuring that every guest that hits the property has a remarkable culinary experience. And taste is always subjective.
Right. So you plan it on a weekly basis, or you map it out for
No,
a
right.
month? How do
It's
you do
not
it?
planned on a weekly basis. The restaurants are basically standard restaurants,
Okay.
right? The only thing at times we want to inject in is specials,
Oh,
right? So
okay.
once we have a set menu now, we just
Oh,
basically run with the set
so it's
menu,
more execution after that.
more execution. Once the menu is done, training is done. Once training is done, we basically monitor and maintain, right? And the choice is up to the chef or the company how frequent we need to change the menu.
So how big is your team?
My team, for the kitchen operation, it's a little bit over 90, right? A little bit over 90 persons. So I basically oversee not only kitchen but the stewarding department. If I should calculate the stewards in that count, I'm looking roughly around 140 persons.
Mm. And you've worked at several properties locally. So
Yes.
what, in your view, would be considered the most popular dishes?
The most popular dishes. It depends on the property.
Mm.
It really depends on the property because each property has a specific concept, right? And with that concept, they have specific themes, right? I can specifically say for Jewel Grande, we have a lot of US travelers,
Right.
right? And the most popular restaurant we have there, we have two restaurants that are extremely popular, right? Separate and apart from the jerk chicken,
Right.
the steakhouse,
Okay.
you know,
So jerk is right up there then.
jerk is, yeah, man, jerk is, let me tell you something. If I don't have oxtail, jerk chicken, or curry goat, rice and peas, ackee and saltfish, fry plantain,
Mm-hmm.
escovitch fish, a
Yeah.
big problem.
Yeah.
If I don't have a steak, I stand a chance. But all of these things are worries.
So you try to incorporate a lot of local foods then and flavors
Definitely, definitely,
to
definitely.
enhance
We have the
the
jerk. We
experience.
have the jerk hut that is 100% authentic jerk. We do it on an open flame, not gas, but charcoal, right? Out of a massive jerk drum. We do have two outlets that offer Jamaican food. We have our Cricket's Grill that offer jerk chicken, jerk pork, rice and peas, escovitch fish. And then, of course, we have our buffet that offers a wider range of some Jamaican food as well as some fusions as well. And typically, for sure, for Indian travelers and vegans, we do have an Indian line as well.
So how do you get your supplies? It's primarily from local farmers and so on.
Well,
Is that the case?
majority of our fresh produce is local,
Right.
right? We do get some imported items, the typical things like our grapes or berries, sometimes our asparagus all the times, but sometimes our cauliflower and broccoli, we do get it overseas, depends on the local market.
Right. So the demand isn't being met locally, then you have to look.
Yes, yes, but sometimes while you have the demand there, one thing we have to factor here in Jamaica as well, our climate, our the availability at times of water for these for these farmers as well, and the volume,
Right.
you know,
Because these
we're
are large properties. So
large
when you need
properties.
particular crops, it's in
Definitely,
significant.
definitely, definitely. So at times depends on the product. It's either outsourced. It's most times sometimes outsourced. Depends on typically now right now the heavy rainfall coming recently,
Right.
and a
So when
few
you have
months
heavy
ago,
rainfall, that
yes, a few
affects
months
everything.
ago we had Beryl and some other storms. It really affect the agriculture industry. For tomatoes, watermelons, all of these quick crops, and peppers. It's really being affected now, and cucumbers really being affected right now. So it's just to find it now. So it's a little bit challenging at times for the suppliers, but they
But you have
do.
to work
We
around
have
all
to
of that.
work around it. Yes, indeed.
So what advice would you have for young people wanting to enter your profession?
Be open-minded. They always say your attitude determines your altitude, and it's true. You know, it's not an easy path. A lot of persons will look at a chef and just believe it's just typically cooking, right? There is a lot more to it than just cooking. So it's a very rewarding career, but it's a career that takes a lot of time from from not only you, the professional, but the family as well. Just look into it. Every single special moment, holiday or celebration,
Right.
here in the hotel industry, we have to factor every holiday, not only Jamaican holiday, but overseas holidays, for our travelers. So Christmas time, Easter time, it's popular. It's popular for not only Jamaica, but overseas. So in these times when family come together, you're basically at work.
Right.
So our downtime as industry professionals are times when there are no holiday. And these
Okay.
times are when the family is full-fledged working. So
So
it's
there's a lot to consider,
there's
but
a
you're saying
lot is a lot to
it's
consider.
fulfilling.
But at the end of the day, what keeps us going no matter what, just like any other career, it's passion, dedication, and rewards, and what you want to do to impact and inspire.
All right. Thank you. That brings us to the end of our program. Thanks for joining us today, Mr. Williams. It was a pleasure having you on our program. Thanks to our viewers for tuning in. Take care and see you soon.